Hello students, this is Professor Uma Joshi from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology, and we are going to study effective technical communication. In our last lecture, we talked about the technical writing, in which we discussed about the business letters. In today's session, we are going to learn the technical descriptions. Now, as engineers or professionals, you will require to write the description of many machines, objects, processes, or some equipments at the time of writing some reports or proposals. So in this session, we are going to learn how to write these descriptions effectively. So first of all, what is a technical description? Now, technical description is a text which explains about an object, process, or a concept that is unknown to everyone. The main objective of writing a technical description is to make the unknown known to the readers. So let us see what are different steps of writing a technical description. So mainly there are two steps of writing a technical description. Step number 1, it is defining. Now, defining actually helps in giving the meaning to a particular word. So here we want to define an object or a machine or maybe a process and want to make it known to people for whom that is unknown. So when we define that particular thing, that means we are making something unknown known to people. So a definition actually helps in telling what we are going to talk about. The second step of technical description is describing. Now, describing is something which is done in detail. So once we have already defined our equipment or the machine or a particular object, then after that we describe it in detail. How do we describe it? We describe the physical features of that particular thing, the functions, or its importance in the whole. Now, description actually helps the reader to create a visualization of the object that you are describing. So description actually is in detail and it makes even more clear. Now let us see how to write a technical description using these two steps. So we know that defining and describing the parts of a particular machine or the machine as a whole has to be done when we have to do the technical description. Now it has 4 different steps. Step number 1 is to discuss about the physical features of a particular product or a machine or a part of a machine. Now when we describe a physical feature, it means that we have to tell about maybe its dimensions, its shape. If it is in a particular color, then we mention that also. If we can even tell about the material that is used to make that particular part or that particular machine, like it is made up of metal or it is made up of rubber or it is made up of cloth, something like that, then all these things are included in the physical features. If you are able to provide the approximate dimensions, like it is 5 mm diameter or the length of it is 10 mm, something like that, then it even helps the reader to visualize the product more. I will give you an example how to describe the physical features. Suppose you want to write a technical description of a ceiling fan. Then what you will write? You may write down first of all the definition. How to define the fan? So you have to tell what it is. Imagine that fan is not known to you. So what I would say? I would say it is an apparatus with blades and which revolves to give cool air, or which revolves to circulate air, which helps in cooling and ventilation. So actually definition tells about what I am going to talk about and how it is helpful. So you have some vague idea. Also, you may even tell the approximate size of the fan. It is made up of metal. You can even tell, how it is used. There can be table fans and there can be ceiling fans. So some kind of idea you are putting in the minds of the readers. So this is about the physical feature. Now whenever you are discussing about physical features of any equipment or the part of a machine, then if it is very unknown to people, it is very helpful if you can compare it with something which is known. For example, I can say that this tool is as sharp as a knife, or maybe you can say it is like a needle. So that means there is some pointed tool in the machine. So this is how you are trying to create the picture of an object in the mind of the reader by comparing that object with something which is common and already known to the readers. So the next point is to tell about the location of that particular part. So suppose you are discussing a huge machine, for example maybe a lathe machine, then you have to tell where that part is located. For example, you can say it is located above or maybe below something, there has to be some reference. Or it is perpendicular to the ground, it is horizontal to the ground, it is fitted on the side of the machine, something like that. And then you can even add the reference of something which you have already discussed previously. For example, you discussed about part 1 and its description, and you are talking about part 2. So in the part 2 you can say that this particular tool is located just above part 1, or it is fitted on the side of part 1. So with the help of a reference you can give the idea about the location of the part of the machine. Now the third step of technical description is the function. So when you have already told about a particular part, that is you have defined the part, that this particular part is like this. For example, in case of fan, firstly we defined the fan, but now we are talking about different parts. So when we define the blades, what do we say? Blades of a fan are long metallic wings which are attached on the side of the circular part of the fan, or the middle or the center of the fan, which goes in different direction, and the blades helps in circulating the air. So we are giving the location. First we defined it, we gave the location, and now we are also giving the function of the blade. What is the function of the blade? So this is how we go step by step. And also we give the function of the entire machine, and at the same time every part has its own function in the whole. So you also have to mention the function of that part in the entire machine. Now the last point of technical description is to discuss about the advantages and disadvantages. Now some people may also say that why to give disadvantages of a particular machine, but disadvantages are always mentioned because there is always a scope of improvement as far as innovations are concerned, and only if any particular equipment or a machine has a disadvantage, that means there is a further improvement which is always possible. So these are the steps that we have to follow when we have to write a technical description. So now moving further, a very important aspect of technical description, and that is a diagram. Now the diagram is the most important thing in a description, and if you have a diagram or photograph, you must include it in your technical description. But with the diagram, you should write the names of the parts, and there should be a proper listing of the parts, and you also have to show the parts where they are. The location has to be shown, and the entire diagram has to be labeled distinctly. This helps the reader to look at the diagram properly and look at each and every part in the machine. So the importance of diagram is also very high in technical description. In fact, any technical description is incomplete if there is no diagram. So now let us see some examples. So we will first see an example of technical description of a Cochrane boiler, which you may have already studied till now. So first of all, you have to define. So here it has been defined as a multi-tubular vertical fire tube boiler which has a number of horizontal fire tubes and which helps in increasing the surface of the simple vertical boiler. So where the heating surface is increased, so it helps in boiling very effectively. So here the diagram is shown along with the labeling, and because there are so many different parts, the labels or the names of the particular parts are given short forms and a proper listing is done in the diagram below the diagram. So first it has been defined. Like somebody who doesn't know what is a boiler, then that person will have a particular idea about the Cochran boiler. Now next what do? We discuss each and every part and we describe them. So here you can see that different parts like the boiler shell, the grate, the furnace, then the water space and the steam space, and even the flue pipe, everything is defined, it is described, and its physical dimensions are also given and the locations are given. For example, about the boiler shell, it says that it is cylindrical in shape and it with both the ends closed by steel plates and by rivets. It also says that what is its function, that it provides space for the steam. Then coming to the grate, it tells that fuel is burnt over here. It is at the bottom and it consists of the cast iron bars with spacing between them. So this kind of description is given. So for each and every part of the boiler, particular description is given, like its dimension, where it is situated, it is at the bottom, it is in the middle, all those things, and even the function of each part is given. So again we have other parts also, like you can see the fire tubes, the combustion chamber where the combustion happens, then there is a chimney, the chimney's description is given, where it is located, what does it do, it emits the smoke. Then we have the manhole, it is provided for the repairing purpose, and then we have the ash pit which is located just below the grate and it is used for collecting the ash. So each and every part is described along with its function. So now the working of the entire boiler is described. As you can see here, it is described that what happens. First the coal is fed in the grate through the fire hole and it is burnt. Ash is collected in the ash pit. Then what happens? The hot gases passes through the grate and it then passes through the pipes and then combustion chamber. So the entire process is explained step by step and how everything happens. And then at the end you can see that 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages are given. One is because its size allows it to occupy a less area, but its height is too much. That it requires a room with high ceiling. And then it also says that it has a limited pressure range. The maintenance is also very difficult. So in this manner, the advantages and disadvantages are also given. Now we will also see the technical description of a process. So this we have already learned in our first chapter, that is the communication process. So here you already know, and we have already done this particular thing, that step by step everything is explained. When you understand each step, it becomes easy for you to understand the entire process. So it is broken into different parts and every part is actually defined and described. For example, sender. So a person who wants to send the message. Then ideation. The sender has an idea in the mind, that is called ideation. Then there is encoding. So encoding is also described in detail, saying that the idea which is in the mind of the sender cannot be shared directly to the receiver, but it has to be converted into understandable words, and that is called encoding. That is the conversion of the idea into message is called encoding. And then further steps are explained, like the channel and the medium, what is the importance of channel and the medium, that the message passes through the channel. Then what is the receiver receives the message, then receiver converts the message, that is called decoding. Then we have the feedback, then the importance of feedback is given, and at the end the environment is also described, that the environment also has a role to play in the communication process. So as you have seen here, In the process also we break it into parts, and then each step which is broken into different parts is defined, described, and then its function in the whole process is also explained. What is the function of encoding in the whole process? What is the importance of feedback in the whole process? Everything is explained. So this is how we do the technical description of any equipment, machine, tool, object, or even a process. If you follow all these steps, then I am sure you will be able to write the technical description in a very effective manner. So that's all for today. Thank you.